With us today, Brad Carlson of the University of Minnesota Extension. And Brad, you've got some meetings coming up in just a few days, or as you may be seeing this, we may be in the week. But let's talk about those meetings, what they are, and then we'll talk about where they're at.
You bet. We got our Nitrogen Smart meetings. They're going to be the last week of January, so the 28th through the 31st. We're going to be around the state. On Monday, we're going to be in Rochester at the Heinz Center. That's on the northwest corner of the RCTC campus. On Tuesday, we're going to be at Farm America, which is immediately west of Waseca. On Wednesday, we're going to be at the Holiday Inn in St. Cloud. And on Thursday, we're going to be at the Research and Outreach Center in Lamberton. Nitrogen Smart is an ongoing program. This is the fourth year we've done it. Talks about the basics and fundamentals of how nitrogen behaves in the environment. And so it's really a step beyond just simply saying this is what we recommend doing for nitrogen management. It's really going through the science of how nitrogen behaves in the environment, so farmers can make on-the-fly decisions from one year to the next, one field to the next, one situation to the next on how they might want to change their management, because we all recognize if it's too cold, too wet, something changes we didn't anticipate, we need to change our management. Well, we also need to deal with those changes intelligently.
And nitrogen is probably one of those things, as far as your inputs in the spring of the year, that really is, I hate to use the word volatile, but everything can affect it.
Right. Nitrogen is subject to loss in the environment. We know that. And so most of those processes are water-driven as well as heat-driven, because the nitrogen has to convert to nitrate. And those are the things we talk about in this program, is trying to get a handle on what those transformations are depending on what the weather's been like, trying to get a handle on what the loss processes are. So we know in a year like last year that was really wet, in a lot of cases we needed to come in and supplement nitrogen. Not necessarily depending on how you applied, how much and when and so forth, but there were a lot of producers who did. And so those are the things that we like to empower farmers to make their decisions on how to do that on the fly.
And these meetings all week long on Nitrogen Smart methods and management. They're day-long sessions, as I understand, with something starting in the morning. Talk about the day at each location.
So we have two sessions during the day. We've got our fundamentals session starts at 9, and the advanced session starts at 1. So the base program is the morning one. If you've never attended Nitrogen Smart, we'd like to have you there in the morning. So particularly anybody that's attended Nitrogen Smart in the past, or if you want to take in both sessions, you're welcome to do that. But if you've never attended Nitrogen Smart, we'd really like you there in the morning, because we're not going to cover that information in the advanced session in the afternoon. The advanced session starts at 1, and it's going to be dealing strictly with using manure as a fertilizer source, because there's a lot of intricacies related to manure, how it's applied, when it's applied, and so forth, that really affects its use as fertilizer, and it's very specific compared to how we use commercial fertilizer. And so that's going to be at 1 o'clock. So the program is paid for by Minnesota corn growers and their checkoff, so there's no cost to attend when you show up. There's no pre-registration, so we encourage farmers just to show up.
And finally, where can they learn more online if they want to just double-check the date and the location? How can they learn more?
Yeah, our website is Z as in zebra, z.umn.edu/nitrogen smart, all one word. And in addition to that, we also have an online version of the program. So if you prefer to do an online training as opposed to going to the in-person one, you can actually launch the online version of the program from there also.
Very good. That's Nitrogen Smart meetings all this coming week. And that, once again, the dates of the meetings and where?
On Monday the 28th, we are in Rochester at the Heinz Center. On Tuesday the 29th, we are at Farm America in Waseca. On Wednesday the 30th, we are at the Holiday Inn in St. Cloud. And on Thursday the 31st at the Southwest Research and Outreach Center in Lamberton.
Brad Carlson with the University of Minnesota Extension, and he would love to see you at one of these Nitrogen Smart meetings coming up the week of the 28th.